my note to myself, excuse me, this afternoon is understanding to think versus thinking to understand. And there's a saying in school teacher world that at the primary level, you have to learn to read, and then at the intermediate and secondary level, you read to learn. Now, if you don't learn to read first, then you can never read to learn because you won't fully understand how to do that. Well, they got me thinking about other aspects of the school world and how students can differentiate between when it's time to think harder and when it's time to... So, let me back up. Sorry. Let me rephrase this. Understanding to think means you have to understand when it's time to think more on a topic. Okay? Because sometimes that's what it takes. You need to take a break and think, or know when it's time to stop and think. Don't just keep powering through and pushing through and compounding your mistakes or your misunderstandings. And then there's the other side of that where you have to think in order to understand. You have to think for a second and then understand more beyond that. Are they kind of the same thing? Maybe. But I think there is a difference where sometimes you have to know when it's time to stop and think, and other times you can just think about it real quick and understand it completely. I run into this a lot with my students where they're like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Okay, but have you spent enough time thinking about it? Because sometimes that's the key. I can't explain it to you anymore. I can't make you think about this differently. You just need to think about this same thing for a longer period of time. I think that's what I meant by making that note to myself. I was trying to think on it for a little while before presenting it here, but that's where I'm going. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm thinking? Understanding to think versus thinking to understand. It makes sense, kind of. Talk to you tomorrow.